If you're looking for professional day trading education and high-level trade analysis, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I've been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to give you exactly that. Professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And today we are going to be going over two trades, but 3 entries. You'll see what I'm saying here in a second. And I also have a little something extra. I'm going to go off on a little bit of a rant over a real stupid comment. So if you want to watch me roast someone and you want to watch some high level trade analysis and dissection, this is it. So one sec here, folks. I'm going to share my screen with you and grab my charts. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Let's do this. Okay, so now that we're into the charts, before we get into that, we might as well get into a little bit of roasting and have a little fun with this knucklehead. So it's pretty funny. And one of the reasons, like, don't get me wrong, I don't care what these idiots have to say because it's just stupid. Um, but you know what I find is one of the major problems in the world right now, and I know this isn't outside of the regular recap, but this guy says, and this is taken from a 60-second clip. So I post clips of these recaps and video lessons that I do. I clip them out. It's all done automatically. I don't do the clips. AI does the clips. They take the clips for me. They write the description and all of that, and you just post them. That's how it is. That's how this world works. That's how all clips are done. You're not going to put in a lot of time to that because you can't, because you have to chop up a video and make your own clips and put in all of your own captions and everything else. That would take a lifetime to do. Obviously, a guy has more important things to do. So this knucklehead writes, so is it 4 minutes or 15 minutes? 4 minutes? While it's understandable that you're high off the win and the profit, don't be bullshitting people, please. You haven't even talked about your trade setup. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, it is a 60-second clip. See, one of the reasons why I bring this up, and what I said to him is, it's a 60-second clip, and basically, please don't tell me that you are a thumbnail clicker or a just the topic of like a headline clicker, and they just read the headline and they think they have the whole context. That's the problem nowadays. A lot of people don't take the time to actually further research. If something piques your interest, go find that actual video. To watch a 15-second, 30-second, 60-second clip and think you have the whole story, and then to actually take the time, it shows your own ignorance. It really exposes you for a low IQ individual that you are. It should, period. That's it. Like, you can't dispute that. You can't debate that. You don't have the full story. You don't have the full context. You have no idea who the fuck you're talking to. You have no idea that I've been doing this for over a decade with wild success. And you're the one that is watching 60-second day trading clips on YouTube. Like, don't even go there, man. Like, I'm the one making the clip. You're the one watching it. So if something piques your interest, or if it doesn't, that's fine. If it doesn't pique your interest, move on to the next fucking guy. That's fine. Go see how that works out for you. If not, if something piques your interest, you will obviously watch the entire clip, a full 60 seconds. And I know for a person like that, it's probably very fucking difficult to sit there for 60 seconds and actually focus. Go actually watch the full length video and you'll see the full story. It's like those people that read headlines and they're like, oh, this guy did that and this guy did this. And it's like, when you actually click on it, you'll see there is a full story there. I don't think a lot of people know how the internet works. And if it was up to me, there would be no clickbait. There would be no talk of, I made $20,000 in 30 minutes. I would never talk about that. I would never. I hate that shit. I think it's the stupidest, most low IQ bullshit out there. But that's the internet. That's what actually grabs people's attention. So until the masses actually change, that's how it is. It needs to be clickbaity, or he never would have clicked on it. If it would have just been a very educational and professional title, do you think this individual would click on it? Fuck no. Never. Never in a million years. Most people won't. Most of my videos don't have clickbaity titles, right? And that's the reason why you're not going to see 10 million subscribers on this channel, because I'm not interested in clickbaiting and all that shit. That's AI that put that out. If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it. right? Because I'm not trying to attract those people. I'm not trying to attract those low IQ individuals. I'm trying to attract people that want actual high level education that can actually want to learn. So I've always found it interesting that this is like people, number one, they don't understand the internet. Number two, they don't understand how clips are created. Number three, they don't understand that it is a 60-second clip and they are trying to get all of their information from it. Like, that's real fucking stupid. Like, come on. You have to be like a full blown fucking mouth breather in order to actually think you're getting the full story from a 15 to 60-second clip. Like, that's just real fucking stupid. So, get off your mom's couch and go live your life and go actually apply yourself, and you'll see that there's probably some pretty good information on this channel. And if not, that's fine. No sweat off my sack, man. I'm just going to continue doing my thing. So now that all of that nonsense is out of the way, let's get into the recap. It always just drives me absolutely. I just laugh my ass off at just how fucking stupid people can be. It's never ending. And that's why we are in the state that we are in the world, period. So let's get into this. So took a few trades. We could technically call it a few trades. So I want to go over the trade plan because it was a topic of discussion here this morning. So these blue levels, for those of you that are just joining us, these are levels, technical levels that I will design a full-blown trade plan around. I'll tell you when to enter, how to enter, where we will stop off. I'll give you this risk. I give you all of that. I also teach how to plot these levels for yourself. And in today's trade plan that is released 30 minutes before the market open, all of this stuff is always placed prior to the market open, never after. The trade plan here on SPY was our main watch. And I want you to take a look at this pre-market. That's pre-market lows. Okay. So that's a pre-market level. We also have backing at the previous close, which is this. The problem with entering here, which is your first level of support, is from pre-market lows to the level, your actual execution level is 70 cents away. Now, normally that's not bad, but we need to account for risk. And our risk was off of yesterday's lows. So if you include starting in at pre-market lows and work it all the way down into your risk, you're outside of risk parameters. So that pre-market low, if that breaks, what will generally happen is a big snap through, a volatile snap and push through that level. Why? Because you're going to have pre-market longs that got in, that did not get the push at the open for them to sell into. So instead, it came down. Most retail traders don't actually look at the daily chart and apply proper risk strategy. So what they do is apply their closest where they entered at pre-market lows, averaging into that. Once that breaks, they're getting out, right? So I know this. I know how most retail traders don't actually have a plan and they don't provide proper risk in their trade plans. So when that snaps, you're going to have a volatile push through. So when you do that, now, granted, it didn't quite give the distance that I wanted it to snap through. It was a little bit less. But the trade plan was stated that once you have to wait for pre-market lows to break. Once pre-market lows breaks, that's where I will enter. Okay. I don't care where you entered. That's where I'm entering, right? And that's where I entered. Bottom tick that. And the reason for that, actually, I think I want to save that one for members because that's information that's like way too valuable. But there is a reason why I'm waiting for that, because essentially I'm waiting for it to come into the previous close. And I probably shouldn't have said that out loud on a YouTube video. Probably puts people off, but hey man, it is what it is. I bled for this shit. I don't want to give away every fucking secret for free. So into that level is where I was looking to add and to be out by here. Okay. So that's what I was looking for in the trade plan. Now it didn't give me that, but what it did do is it did come and give me my entry. I entered and I paid myself back into moving averages. there was a moving average congestion in and around that area in the morning. So I'm taking it from support into resistance. Basically, it's not like it's a huge secret or anything crazy. This isn't a strategy that is complicated. There are moving parts and moving pieces to this strategy, but it isn't complicated. And that was the trade. So I locked in about half of my overall profit here on SPY on that first trade. Now I want to go over to Qs because that was the second trade. And then we'll go back to the next entry here on SPY. So on Qs was really interesting. Originally, I only wanted this level and this level. We had moving average congestion in here, but because we were going to open up at the time very close into those moving averages, there would have been no distance. So what I figured was going to happen is it would open and pop and then drop, and then we could get our entry here to ride up to here and then potentially flip short. Okay. So if you didn't follow that, that's fine. Rewatch it or don't. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It didn't do that. What it did is coming into the market open, it kind of sold off a little bit, coming closer into here. Now it ticked down and it held that first level of pre-market support. And then it came up with a volatile push into resistance, which was the 5 EMA. 5 EMA, 9 EMA, 20 SMA, all right in that area. It blew through the 20 and came into the 9 and the 5. That is so much protection in that trade that we took that trade. So executed that short into those moving averages and worked it down into morning lows. And that was it. Absolutely fantastic trade. Locking in $3,817 on that. So now let's go back into SPY because SPY is really interesting on this secondary trade entry. Okay. So the first entry, like I said, entered into the level as soon as it sliced through pre-market lows, paid myself, and then I was holding a little bit and I ended up paying myself out the rest here. Now what I'm waiting and watching for, because it hit my target. That's my target. It was into roughly pre-market highs and morning highs. It's good enough for me. I can make money off that. So what happens next is it comes into the resistance, some moving averages. So from morning lows all the way up, it needs to now pull back. It has to. That's the laws of technical analysis. So when it tests support, it will then test resistance. And that's what it did. So now I know it needs to pull back and test support. Remember, it's just an endless cycle of support and resistance testing. That's all this is. It's really not complicated. So when it comes up to test that and it pulls back, there's a level that I want it to hold. If it holds that, it will then read as strong and you will see more traders get in. And that's this right here, that level right there. And I drew this out before it happened. And I said, if it holds this, that's what I'm looking for. And it held that as it came down into that level. I executed. That is my execution. You can see it is on that red candle on the way down into that. And I want to see that hold. Your risk is very minimal off lows or previous close. It's super minimal risk for it to now come up and test this. And that's what it did. Now, on my entry here, my last exit, it didn't quite make it there, but I paid myself on that volatile push up. So locking in total, $3,066 on that. This is, this strategy here, guys. It is such a simplistic strategy. And I've had people through the years that'll say things like, oh, Tricktrades is good for a beginner because it's simple. But they don't realize that you don't need to get complicated. You don't need anything more in order to make money. What people do, and this is a huge problem, what people do as they progress in their careers, they get bored. So therefore, they think that they need to spice up the strategy a little bit. They're not realizing your end goal as a trader is to make money. Now, I know that kind of contradicts what I generally say, because we don't want to go after making money. There's more to it than just making money. But at the root of it, still, we want to make money in order to provide for our families, right? So if you can come in and let's say you're bored out of your mind, but you're making thousands of dollars a day, hundreds or thousands of dollars a day. That's your end goal. That's what we're fucking looking for. Who gives a fuck if you're bored? You're not sitting here in front of these charts all day long. You're sitting in front of them for an hour. That's it. So be bored for an hour. There's a reason why I'm into 1,000,001 hobbies. Man, like, so many people just get this shit twisted, and this is why they can't do it long term. People talk, and I know I talk about this shit to death, but people talk about the 90% fail and 10% make it. And then there's always some joker in the fucking comment section that corrects, well, that's about more like 95% fail. I don't care. Shut the fuck up. That's not the point. You're missing the fucking point. That's just to gain a level of what is deemed consistent. That's it. That doesn't mean that that's long term. To make it to 5 years, that 10% goes down to 1%. 1% make it to 5 years plus. When you get to 10 years, it is 0.1%. People don't know these statistics. These are legitimate statistics of retail traders can make it 10 years and provide for their families. Now, that scares a lot of people off. But the thing is, it's not anything to be afraid of. Because those odds are so low, that tells me that I have the edge, because I'm not a mouth breather that reads headlines and clicks through. Do you understand? Like, if you deem yourself a competent individual, now I'm not talking ego wise, I'm talking you can keep yourself in check, you are disciplined, you are in control of your emotions. That's how you get to 10 years. And once you get to that 10 years, the sky's the limit. There's no going back from that. You'll never fail because you've always done the right thing. Too many people get bored and they want to spice it up. You should be fucking bored. I did a YouTube video years ago about being bored. If you're not bored as a day trader, that tells me that you don't have your emotions under control yet. If your heart palpitates and you get excited to take a trade, that excitement over time, it goes, guys. Okay. Now, there's ways to get around that. And I talked about that on screen share today. I talked about what I do in order to keep myself interested in this. And it is striving for that mastery, for literal perfection. That's what I'm going for. This is why you see, if you actually take a look at these entries and where I pay myself, you will see mastery. And I know I sound like a jerk off saying that. A lot of people will fucking be in the comments saying it's ego this, ego. It's not. It's facts. It's because I'm pushing towards that. I don't make it about money. I don't give a fuck about the money at this point. It's about getting that entry, waiting for exactly what I want to wait for. And if you want to learn from somebody like that, a coach that not only knows how to do this, but actually has a knack for teaching and instructing and coaching, come to tricktrades.com. Really, what the fuck do you have to lose? You're perpetually cycling your account and loading into your account. And then you want to say things like, oh, subscription fees are expensive. Your fucking perpetual losses are expensive. What the fuck? That's such a scarcity mindset. That's why you're always broke. So break the cycle of being broke and work with someone that can actually fucking get you there, man. You know, like I don't understand that disconnect with day traders. They come in like this is the slot, like Vegas or something. If that's how you treat this, you're doomed, man. You're going to fail. So come to tricktrades.com. If not, stick with the free stuff. It'll take you longer, but you do have to like, and you do have to subscribe, and you do have to realize who the fuck you're dealing with here. I'm not a content creator. I'm not a YouTube trader. I am a professional fucking trader. Adios, folks. Have a great evening.